Stop telling yourself that you're a people pleaser because you're weak. It's not because you're weak, trust me, it's because you're a survivor. You learned long ago that if you made other people happy, you stayed safe. You learned that if you were the good boy, the good little girl, stayed quiet, stopped shouting, stopped playing, stopped getting in the way, if you were the fixer, you would not get hurt. People pleasing isn't a personality flaw. It's a response to trauma. It's a shield that you built to survive a war that ended when you were younger. Welcome to WWA Wrestling with Adversity. And today we're going to talk about the weight of being the nice guy or the nice girl. We're going to look at why you feel responsible for everyone else's emotions, why you feel guilty for saying no all the time, and why this is not your fault. But it is your responsibility to heal it. In wrestling, there is an art called selling. It means reacting to your opponent's move. If they hit you, you stumble. If you get in a lock, in a hold, you grimace, you scrunch up. You sell it to the crowd. You do it to sell the match. To show that this really hurts and I'm really in dire needs here. I'm really struggling. But there's something called overselling. That's when you react too much. And you make the opponent look like a monster even when they're barely touching you. If you grew up in a chaotic home, you learn to oversell. You learn to read the room instantly, listen for footsteps, listen for tone of voice. Is dad angry? Is mum sad? You became an expert at managing other people's emotions and you made yourself small so that they would feel big. You smiled when you were scared so that they wouldn't snap. I lived this for many, many years. Listening for footsteps, listening for tone of voice, checking to see if everything was safe. And if it wasn't, I would step in to try and save the day, to keep the calm, to keep the peace. So you were a child in a ring with a giant, and the only way to survive was to sell for them. So that's not cowardice, that doesn't make you weak, that's innate intelligence to survive. And it kept you safe, it worked. Here's the problem. When you become an adult then, and the giant is gone, you're still overselling for everyone you meet. So it's called a fawn response. So we have fawn, we have flee, and we have fight. All responses designed to keep us safe. Ancient responses in the human body to keep us safe from predators. So we might drop on the floor, curl into a ball and hope we're left alone. We may run, try and climb a tree, try and get away from the lion, saber-toothed tiger. Or we may fight. We may think, right, we're backed into a corner. The only thing we can do is go for it. And people pleasing is a fawn response. It's letting people know, I'm not a danger, please don't hurt me. So fawning is when you appease the threat to avoid danger. You don't say yes to that extra work because you're nice. You say yes because your nervous system screams, if I say no, I'm unsafe. So when you get invited to that night out, when you get asked to do this job, to take on this task, to take on this responsibility, you say yes when really you mean no, because you think it's unsafe to say no. You apologize all the time. It looks like politeness, but it's really there to mask your real feelings. Over politeness. I was brought up to be polite. I was brought up to have manners, to respect my elders. But there is overselling. There's doing too much. You believe that you're taking up space, and that's dangerous, so you try to shrink. I thought all the time that if I was just useful enough, if I was just good enough, nobody would then abandon me. Nobody would leave me. And that was my biggest fear, being left alone. Because it was just me and my mum. If she goes, what's left? So I had to make sure she stayed there at all costs. That is absolutely exhausting for a child, to try and predict what everyone else wants you to be, what they're going to do. And you carry that. And children aren't designed to carry that. They can do it, but they're not meant to. And it shows up then in later life. So how do we stop? First, we have to stop beating ourselves up. You're not fake and you're not a coward. You don't have to isolate to stay away from these situations. You've been conditioned to tuck and roll every time someone moves. So compassion is the first step. Look at that younger version of you and say, thank you. You did what you had to do to get us here. But I've got it from here. That's the critical bit. Thank you. You did what you had to do to get us here. But I've got it from here. You have to realize that the match has changed. The people in your life now, your partner, your friends, your boss, they are not the ones who hurt you back then. They aren't the opponent. When you lie about what you want, you aren't protecting yourself anymore. You're denying them the chance to know the real you. So you live inside a play, inside theatre. And that lack of congruence with who you are, really, is what causes anxiety. You think that if you show your real self, that you'll be rejected, that version of you will be rejected. So it's easier then to cover it up. But the truth is that people who love you want you to be real. They don't want the performance, they want the person. And it is safe to show that person. So here's the kick out, and it's a gentle one today. I want you to practice the no sell. In wrestling, a no sell is when you don't react to a move and you just stand your ground. The next time you feel that panic, that urge to fix someone else's problem or agree when you actually disagree, I want you to just take a moment and just pause. Take a breath. Check in your body. Are you safe? The answer will be yes. And then speak the truth from who you really are. So this is setting boundaries. It's not an attack on the other person. It doesn't put you in danger. It doesn't make you the villain. It makes you honest. You're safe enough now to stop selling, to stop pretending. And you're strong enough now to stand tall. So drop the gimmick. You don't have to be the nice guy, the nice girl to be loved. You just have to be you. So as always, it's not about hitting the mat. It's all about the kick out. I'll see you next week.